Salam alaikum, alaikum salam. Buenos días, buenos días. Kensambi lo hakutare. I'm asking Nsambi to bless you guys. How you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing great today. What can I tell you? The barometer on the vehicle is 33 degrees. We got some snow today. News is talking about 3 inches, 3.5 or 30.5. That's 3 inches. It's supposed, sorry for the L train, North Philly. Train. So, yeah, that's what we got going today. Weather kind of horrible. To be indoors is great, but to be out in the street, doing deliveries in this neighborhood, you gotta watch it, kind of dangerous, at North Philly. Well, even in South Philly, Southwest too, yeah, it's crazy. I'm here today. I have kind of 2 questions, but they were asked by different individuals, sent to me via email, but it's in the line of the same. We'll be talking almost on the same subject. Well, not the same subject, but one has to do with the other in some way. Hope you guys can see me. Let me turn this heater off. Well, the first question was, Tata, I went to a Munanso to participate, not on the ceremony, but I went to be a participant, of, the ceremony, and there were some sacrifice done, and he's speaking about in Kisimalongo, what we call Palo Monte, Palo Mayombe, and after the people sacrificed that animal, they sent it off, and the women took it and they cleaned off the animals and cooked it, and we ate from those animals that were sacrificed. What can I tell you about that? Well, there are some houses that do that. Some believe that once there's different ways of looking at this. First of all, you have to look at was the animal were people or a person clean with the animal first, and then it was sacrificed to whatever spiritual receptacle was there, and then they took it off and they sent it out to get cleaned out and cooked. And there are different understandings on this. Some houses believe that once an animal is used to clean a person or something, that animal should not be eaten or eaten. You shouldn't eat that animal, because some of them say that you would take on whatever that person had that was transferred over to the animal. You would suffer from that, or you would take that negativity or that uncleanness from the other person and transfer it over to the others. Some don't believe this, you understand? Some, they sacrifice the animal. Once they give the menga to the animal, they believe that all that negativity that was taken off that person was transferred through the menga and passed over to the enganga. So the enganga took that negativity, took it over, so they will cook the animal. Now, there are houses that if they clean anyone with an animal, whatever, they will not eat the animal. They will not eat the animal. So it's respected. There's really nothing that I could speak negative or anything about, because different Anzos practice in a different way, and they have their reasons, like I always say. So, you know, it's not really anything that we can speak with, but the only thing I could say is it does happen. Some eat it, some don't eat it, you know. Some believe that you should not eat the animal. If the animal is used to clean a person with it, you should not eat it. Now, if it was not used to clean anybody, and it was just used to feed the receptacles there, because you're honoring, or there's some type of musical thing going on that you're playing to the religious receptacles or the spiritual receptacles, and you want to feed them, then you feed them, then that meat is taken and it's cooked. That also happens. But see, nobody cleaned themselves with it. It was just given, you know, the manga was given to the receptacle, was presented, give it to them, and then the meat was, the animals were taken over and they were cleaned and they were cooked. But that takes a couple of hours anyway, so you have this perspective of that also. So one, we have some houses clean a person with it, feed it to the receptacle, then they cook it. Some houses clean the person with it, the animal, feed it to the receptacle, they don't cook it. Some houses don't clean anyone with it at all. They just feed the animal because of some, whether we could say a special day or a special occasion, that, you know, it's a day where they will feed the nganga. Some of the people eat the animal, and some people even don't eat the animal also on those occasions. So, you know, it's depending on how the house runs their things and how the understanding that they have about it, and you know, it's all great. Now, we also have to understand that here in the United States, right, we have the blessings, let's say, to go buy an animal and sacrifice it with no problem and not eat the meat. We have that because we could buy animals in different poultry places, especially here where I'm at. There's plenty of poultry places here. They sell different types of live animals, and they will sacrifice them for you and clean them, and then they will sell you the meat, or you could buy the animals in whole, alive. But you got to remember that this is kind of oh, give me 1 second. This is kind of like the easiness of what we could have. It's so easy for us here to throw food away. It's so easy for us to buy a burger, and because it doesn't taste right, we trash it, or we don't like the taste of it. It's easy for us to do a lot of things here because our life here is totally different than a lot of people's lives in other countries and places. You know, so just because you see somebody eat the animal that's being sacrificed to something does not mean that it's wrong. You know, you got to understand that not everybody has this freedom that we have. And I'm not saying free as we are free to do whatever we want, because we're not free. In all true reality, we're not free. You know, we have to understand that there is still bondage going on. It's just looked at a different way, and it's just implemented in a different way. For those who have understanding, you will understand. So we can't look at that, you understand, as it being something wrong. Eating an animal that was sacrificed to, you know, somebody cleaned themselves with it, then they sacrificed it to a spiritual Caljon or Nkisi, because not everybody has this freedom. Not everybody has money like here in the United States that, you know, yeah, we might not be rich, but it's not hard to get $15, $25 to go buy an animal. You understand? It's It's not that hard. You know, even if you have to go and pawn a ring or something in a pawn shop, you could get that or more, and you could get yourself an animal, you know, and then get it back out. You know, we have a lot of things that work in our favor. Plus we have a lot of things that don't. But anyway, so that was one of the questions, you know, and I'm trying to, you know, answer it to the best of my ability. I'm looking for the words, you know, so I could give you a good explanation. But this is what happens, you know, and whoever eats the animals after sacrifice, I can't say nothing about it. You know, that's what they do in the house. I don't know the circumstances. I don't know what are their teachings and where does that tradition come from. But they have their reasons. They have their whys, you know, and some do, some don't. You know, in other countries, the majority of those animals are eaten. No matter if people clean themselves with it or not. They're going to eat the animal. Why? Because they don't have food in abundance the way we have it. They don't have the resources to have the food that we have. You know, so, you know, let's say we go to any other country and we see somebody doing that. Are we going to judge them because they ate the meat? I mean, you know, it's something that you have to try and see the logic of it and understand why they do it, you know. And sometimes, you know, we don't know because we don't belong to that certain lineage or Enzo, you know. But if we was in a different country, and it wasn't the way we live here, and we living in a hut or we living in poverty, I guarantee that I'll be eating the meat also, because those are the circumstances. Now, to the other question that goes in sync with the same one. It was, what was it? When you are doing some type of work with your spiritual receptacle, we're talking about an nganga, a lucero en cuyo, something of this nature, and you cleaned a person with it, or you did some type of work, some type of ensara that involved an animal. Do you take that animal and just do what you have to do, sacrifice it, and throw it to the trash? You know, put it in a bag and just throw it to the trash. Outside trash or whatever. I'm going to be honest with you. I have seen places and been in places that when they sacrifice an animal, for whatever reason it may be, they don't even ask where does that animal have to go to. We're talking about the animal that's already, Menga already was given, the animal already is deceased. There are some places that have seen and witnessed that they don't even ask the Nkisi, where does that animal has to be taken. Now, remember, we're talking about this sacrificial animal that was used to do an ensara, to do a work, to do medicine, you know, whether good or bad, whether, you know, strong or stronger. We have to take that on account, you know. We have to reason and see. I was taught that once you are done doing whatever you're doing, whatever job you're doing, and there's an animal involved, you have to ask the Nkisi or the Mpungo, or you want to say the Mfumbe, where does that animal have to go? Where do you have to take that deceased animal? Because there's a reason for it that I'm not going to speak about. But there's a reason why you ask, and there's a reason why those when they tell you where you have to take it to, there's a reason for that. There could be work or jobs or medicine that you are doing or insidas that you are doing, and you are sacrificing an animal, and that animal you're just throwing into your regular trash without asking. And there could be a big possibility that that work that you did, it's not going anywhere, or it has a consequence, a reverse consequence, or something could go wrong because of you not asking. That's what I was taught. I was taught always this. Even from the first house that I went to, that I left because they did things wrong, they always taught this. You always have to ask where the animal's going to, where you have to take it. A second munanso that I was in, same thing. Where I'm at now, we ask. You understand? Where does it have to go? Because we understand that there's a reason for everything. Why did that Inkisi tell you that they want that animal at a certain place? You understand? So I just wanted to bring that, here to light. Can't talk much about the reasons why and things like that, but ask your elders, ask your tatas, or if somebody's willing to make a video and put it out there and speak about it freely, well, there you go. Like I said, guys, snowing today. Not too cold. I mean, it's pretty good. It just, like anything, rain, snow, slippery, dangerous out here. I pray you guys have a great day. And Sambi lo hakutare always. Con mucho más Have a great day, guys.